Create web videos like this one. If you create web videos like this one and they're full of good content about how you can solve the person's problem, those videos can go viral and you will start to establish a following and you'll set yourself up as a credible expert. And that's part of what you need to do to claim it. Now, what you need to do in order to do both of these things is you need to identify something which is very important, and that is your niche, your target market. It's really difficult to set yourself up as a credible authority in lots and lots and lots of different things. So, for example, when I first did my training in coaching and NLP, on top of all the stuff that I'd done previously with training, suddenly I had an identity crisis. I thought, I could do leadership, I can do team building, I can stop people smoking if I wanted to, I can do life coaching, I can help people with relationships, I can help people with their money, I can help people with, and so on and so forth. Well, you've heard of the expression, jack of all trades, master of none. And that's what you'll become viewed as. You'll become viewed as a jack of all trades. You will not get specific authority in your field, in a particular field, so you'll just be one of those other general practitioners. We all know that a consultant in the NHS has got more authority, more respect, and they earn more than a general practitioner at your GP surgery. So it follows the same principle. You need to decide who your niche is going to be, who is your target audience, and then you need to write and speak for those audiences and just topics related to those audiences. So let's have a look at the speaking in a little bit more detail. First of all, you've got to decide what you're going to talk about, and also you're going to need to decide where. Okay, so what to speak on and where to speak. Now, when I first started off, I read in a book somewhere that when you first start, just speak in front of anybody who will listen. And I took that advice to heart and I did just that. I spoke absolutely everywhere, anywhere that anybody would listen to me. And I spoke for free. So what happened? Well, first of all, this is a good strategy if you've never really done much speaking before. It's a good strategy if you want to build up your confidence and if you want to build up your speaking style and if you want to really kind of get practiced and polished at delivering talks. It's not a great idea if you value your time and you are really doing this so that you can attract clients and earn more money. I started speaking everywhere that I could for free, but the trouble was I got known as being a free speaker. And people had heard me over and over again. So it kind of diluted what I was doing. It diluted my efforts. And there is even such a thing as overexposure. I spoke so often for one group because their speakers kept letting them down and it was, oh, that's okay, Tina will fill in last minute. And because Tina filled in at last minute, it was, you know, going back maybe over things I'd already spoken about, and people were getting bored with listening to me and bored with hearing the same thing over and over again, which is quite natural. Consequently, when I really wanted to speak about something that I was extremely passionate about and it was more relevant to my business and what I was doing, people said, well, we've had Tina, we don't want to hear her again, and now because I filled in on all those other topics, now I wanted to get my message across, I wasn't able to. So a lesson there for not doing overexposure. Next, you need to have a look at what to speak on. You want topics that are going to resonate. And you want topics that are going to get people wanting to know more. So for example, if you went along to an event and you just wanted to talk about leadership, you could keep it very general, or you could talk about something extremely meaty and controversial that are going to make people think and are going to make people really come to the conclusion, hang on a minute, I actually need you to come and work within my organisation. So you need to choose your topics and your places very carefully. The next thing that you need to have a little look at is how to speak. and indeed how not to speak. Now, I went to a networking event once, well, I went more than once actually, but one particular occasion, the speaker actually talked about a topic that wasn't related to his normal business. He decided to talk about blogging for some strange reason, even though that's not what his usual business was all about. And he didn't really know that much about it. He actually asked questions of the audience, and when they couldn't answer, he said, well, I don't know that either. And the speech kind of lacked in energy, his confidence went down, and it came across really poor. So what happened was, nobody took him with any credibility whatsoever. He lost respect for that audience. And the result was, even though he was good at what he actually did for business, he wasn't getting any clients because he'd already been written off as a non-credible business person, which is a shame. The other thing that we need to look at in looking at how to speak is how to structure it, how to get people involved, how to get participation, and also the last thing is how to monetize your talk. So in other words, how to actually turn it into clients who will come along and do business with you. Now, if you want to know more about the speaking side of things, I'm running a webinar which will tell you an awful lot more about how you can get speaking to attract more clients. It's going to be a really great webinar full of lots of content. You're going to learn the #1 reason why people don't speak in the first place. You're going to learn the 3 key mistakes that people make when choosing speaking engagements. You're going to look at one of the biggest barriers to your credibility. And you're also going to learn the 5 major mistakes that people make when they're actually delivering their talk. Plus, of course, you'll learn how to avoid those mistakes and how to give a great talk and what the next steps are in getting your speaking up to a standard where you set yourself up as a credible authority. The details of that webinar will be given to you either in the email that came with this video, or there is going to be an accompanying PDF of this little presentation, and the details of the next webinar will be in there. I do hope you've enjoyed listening to this video. The next video in the series is going to be the second door from the mainland to Paradise Island that you learned about in video 1, and that's going to be about trading, avoiding the trap of trading your time for money. So I look forward to seeing you on the next video.